Francis Benfatto is well known in the business for having one of the best conditioned and symmetrical physiques. He spent years fine-tuning his workouts, nutrition, and training concepts to perfection. He's also well known for using a training approach known as A.R.T, auto-regulation training, which has allowed him to compete well into his late 40s while maintaining his fitness. Over the course of his career, Francis has suffered several disappointments, including instances when judges failed to recognize the importance of his body. Francis has always focused on precise symmetry and fitness rather than sheer size when it comes to his training. After a 13-year hiatus, he returned to the stage in 2006 at the age of 48, wowing the judges with his remarkable physique which he had spent years developing. Biography. Francis's interest in weight training began when he was 11 years old, fueled by a great curiosity with the aesthetics of a powerful physique and the possibilities of what might be attained with dedication. Francis and an old buddy Alain joined the Beretta gym in Toulouse, France when they were 14 years old. Francis described it as a venue where powerlifters, weightlifting, and bodybuilders could all train together in perfect harmony. Francis remembers the environment and sense of camaraderie that prevailed at the time as being very enjoyable. How they would work together to finish the final exercise and push larger weights was incredible to see. Defined physique. Francis developed one of the most developed and symmetrical physiques to ever participate in the Olympia, and he continued to improve with each passing year. He continued to refine his conditioning as well as the conditioning of those under his supervision. Size, low body fat, and overall fitness are the three things you should always be striving for. This is what happened to Francis at the 2006 Australian Grand Prix. At the age of 48, Francis took the stage with a body that looked better than any of his younger appearances on the stage. That was a tremendous achievement for Francis, who is already known for his ability to define and train. Joe Weider was impressed with Francis's fitness during 1990's Mr. Olympia and signed him to a contract, stating that 1991 would have been Francis's breakthrough year. The 1991 Olympia did not go well for Francis, who finished in 7th position, which was disappointment. The assessors prioritized massive size above form and fitness according to the results. Losing hope. Francis began to lose hope as he realized that judges were just going to assess the contestants on their size rather than their whole performance. As a professional, he participated in the Arnold Classic in 1993, as well as the French and German Grand Prix. It was clear that he didn't have the same passion for the job as he used to have. This was his last working year. He would be retiring this year. Francis has been blessed with exceptional genetics for bodybuilding from the beginning of his career. He participated in 1982 and earned the Mr. France title, despite the fact that he weighed less than 62 kilograms and seemed considerably bigger on platform and in person. He was able to generate this illusion because of his precise distribution and form. Training. Consider the earlier years of weightlifting in the 1970s and 1980s, when guys like Francis and A.R.T were continuing to develop and enhance their general strength as well as the size of their physiques. There was a training approach called A.R.T system in use, auto-regulation training. This included making changes to the individual's training approach as well as, more critically, their training load. It was merely a tool to be used, one that would integrate changes to allow for the continuance of training and the achievement of desired objectives. Using a mechanism known as RPE, rate of perceived exertion, a word that originated in the field of endurance training, was one of the most essential parts of the A.R.T system's implementation. On the surface, it translates how difficult did you find the exercise to be. Rate of perceived exertion. You would have unknowingly done this to yourself without even recognizing it. RPE via A.R.T is used if you have ever considered a set to be too difficult or too easy for any reason, and you are employing RPE through A.R.T. Being familiar with this strategy allows us to make adjustments to our training routines in order to attain the most favorable outcomes. Monitoring progress. We can now maintain track of our development throughout the duration of a certain training period by using this way of recording our data. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 month, 2 months, or a year. With the results chart, the primary goal is to recall how a certain workout felt at a particular moment in time. In the case of squats, for example, we may note in our training log that the exercise was difficult without utilizing the RPE guidance. But if we instead got down that seemed difficult, how will we know how difficult it was in 3 months' time? When we use the RPE charts as an update, we may simply look back to it later on and in time and verify that our findings are as accurate as they should be. Based on his experience over the years, Francis Benfatto continues to find success with this technique to this day. As an example of Francis's mass and strength training regimen, the following is a straightforward weekly schedule, but he recommends for persons who wish to add more mass and strength to their bodies. What can we learn from Francis Benfatto? Francis's passion for training began at a young age, and he understood right away that the gym was the right place for him from the minute he walked through the door. He recalled how he used to save every cent he earned as a child in order to get larger and stronger as he grew older. As well as the sense of camaraderie that exists with other bodybuilders who are striving for perfection, Francis believed he was meant for this environment, as seen by the way he changed and progressed through time. Francis's meticulous attention to food and fitness has never let him down. Because he's never been one to stop exercising or learning new methods, such as active release techniques and repetitive posture techniques, he's always been interested in how his body functions and how to obtain the greatest outcomes. Even though Francis experienced many disappointments and downfalls along the way, his dedication to the sport of bodybuilding has not wavered, and he can now boast that he has devoted his life to the science of workouts and physical perfection. Francis is a member of the National Bodybuilding Hall of Fame. It is difficult to find a finer role model than Francis Benfatto if you have the ambition, will, and determination to shape your body, mind, and whole life around bodybuilding and fitness. A lot can be learned from his experiences, which spans many years in the industry. You too can have a body of excellence if you take the appropriate attitude and put in the necessary effort and attention.